Hello there, welcome back to my channel, or if you're here, hi, my name's Samantha and this is my channel where I talk all about books. Anyway, today I'm coming to you with a reading vlog. I haven't done a reading vlog in such a long time, but today I'm actually doing a themed reading vlog, which I think that's only like my second ever like themed reading vlog. I did a vlog where I read the lowest rated books on my Goodreads TBR. That was back in 2020, so that was quite a long time ago now. And I really like doing a vlog like that where you've got like this set TBR and there's, you know, obviously a theme to it. I really like doing those, and I just haven't done one in a long time. With it being February, which is the month which has Valentine's Day in it, I was like, well, I might as well do a romance reading vlog. So that's what this video is. I'm going to be reading 3 romance books. I feel like I have a complicated relationship with romance because I love rom-com movies. Like, that is my jam. That's like my favorite type of movie to watch. But then when it comes to romance books, like, I do really enjoy them. Obviously, like, I read a lot that I love, and I mean, there were 2 romance books, my favorite books of last year, so I do love romance, but I'm very particular about it, and a lot of the times I will be really enjoying a book, but when we get to the third act conflict, I lose a lot of steam with the book because I really don't like the third act conflict most of the time. I feel like normally it's something that was avoidable, but obviously like it needs to be there to make the book more complete, but like I just find it really frustrating, and I'm like, ugh, I'm just picky about my romance. Anyway, with it being the month of love, I'm not really a Valentine's Day person, but I just thought, what better time? And if you didn't know, I work in a library and we have a romance book display obviously for the month, and so I saw that there, and I was talking to my friend who's a librarian there. She was my friend at uni, but we just happened to work at the same place. Anyway, so yeah, she's my librarian friend, and she recommended a book to me, and I was like, that sounds adorable, so I immediately got it, and then that's kind of what spurred on this whole reading vlog. Let me just quickly tell you what books I'm going to be reading, and then I will give you the synopsis of the book at that part in the vlog. So the books I'm going to be reading in order are X's and O's by Amy Lea, which is a close proximity romance with 2 roommates. And I have the Happy Ever After playlist by Jimenez. I don't know what trope this is. Like, I can't think of what trope this would be considered, so you'll just have to wait until that part of the vlog and I'll tell you what this book is about. The last one I have is The Fastest Way to Fall by Denise. This is another one that my friend Evie, who is my librarian friend, recommended to me, and actually she recommended Jimenez to me a while ago as well, so this is also like an Evie controls my reading vlog, just unofficially. Yeah, this one is like they're kind of co-workers to lovers. So these are the 3 books that I'm going to be reading for this vlog. So yeah, let's just get started with X's and O's. Hello, I'm here to talk about my first book that I'm reading, X's and O's. I am absolutely loving it. I did not expect to like it as much as I am. No, that's not true. I thought I was gonna like it because my friend Evie recommended it to me. They actually work at the same place, so she was returning the book and she was like, oh, this one's really good. And she explained the plot to me and I was like, yes, please. So I then tried to take it out and then somebody had a reservation on it. So then I had to put out a reservation on a different copy. And anyway, finally have it. And I'm having so much fun with it. If you don't know what this book is about, it's basically about this girl called Tara, and she has like just turned 30 recently and her life is kind of a mess. She moved in with her sister Crystal, which actually the first book in the series. The first book follows her sister and her romance, and that one's called Set on You, I think. I think I'm gonna read that one as well. Anyway, but it doesn't really matter. We all know how romance ends anyway, so it's not really a big deal. So yeah, Tara's life is kind of falling apart and she ends up moving in with her sister. Before the book, she had been living with her sister for like 8 months, and finally her sister's moving in with her fiance. So Tara moves in to her sister's fiance's old place. Anyway, and her sister's fiance had this roommate called Trevor, and so now he becomes, oh thank you, we all wanted to see your tale. So Trevor and Tara become roommates basically, and Tara is like a hopeless romantic, even though her heart has been broken like 10 different times. She's a hopeless romantic and she's really into romance books. She's actually a bookstagrammer. There's lots to talk about, like different tropes and stuff like that, and so she starts looking for a second chance romance. So she starts to go through all of her exes and try and see if she could have like a second chance romance with them, which is kind of similar to What's Your Number, that movie with Anna Faris and Chris Evans. I really like that movie. And also Chris Evans, like, what can go wrong? So yeah, it's very similar to that. Because basically in that movie, Anna Faris and Chris Evans are neighbors, and he's like this womanizer, doesn't have a long-term relationship, like doesn't want one, and that's literally like who Trevor is, who is her roommate. He doesn't want any sort of long-term relationship or anything like that. He's just having a lot of flings. Meanwhile, Tara is trying to track down her exes and start a new romance with them. I'm having so much fun with it. And this book, literally, like, the first chapter, like, I don't even know what the author was thinking, but like, it was just wild and I loved it. It was like very surprising, like not what I was expecting for a first chapter. I'm having such a fun time with it. Oh my god. I just want to read it all afternoon, but I can't because my sister's coming over to look at wedding venues, which is, you know, very on theme for this reading vlog. But I'm like, do I want to look at wedding venues today? No, because I find it very stressful because my sister stresses me out about it. So yeah, I have to look through all of these wedding venues that we've looked at and try and narrow it down a little bit. So that's how I'm going to spend my afternoon, which is fun. You know, it is, but it's also stressful. Anyway, and I also do some meal prep and stuff. I just cooked a delicious soup. I'll link the recipe down below. I made my soup that I'll have for lunch during this week. Although I'm actually only working Monday, Tuesday this week. I think I probably said that in the intro, but yeah, I've got a lot of time off this week. Anyway, I want to just read this, but that's not going to happen. So I think I'm going to go meal prep some snacks as well to take to work. I will try and get back to reading later on, but I'm currently on page 148. I think I'm like 45% of the way through or something like that, and absolutely loving it. This book might not be for everyone, but like I am loving it, and I'll talk more about it in a little bit whenever it's some more. Hello there, good morning. It's currently Friday, the 17th of February, so I've completely missed Valentine's Day for updating this vlog. That's okay. I mean, that was like the whole theme of this reading vlog was like romance reads for February, but oh well, it's fine. I've literally, like, I've been busy the last couple of days because I'm actually off work today and yesterday because my oldest brother lives in Canada, but he was visiting us for a while and he left this morning. So yeah, yesterday my mom, my sister and I and him went out for lunch and just like spent the day together, which was very nice. Not that much time for reading. So annoyingly, I had about 50 pages left of Exes O's on Wednesday, but I just didn't manage to finish it. So I finished it this morning. I really enjoyed this one. I ended up giving I think I'm just gonna settle on a 4.25. Not quite a 4.5, but not quite a 4. Just because I really enjoyed this book. Like the build up and the tension. Oh, I loved it. It was top notch. So for that was like amazing, 5 stars. But then I feel like in a way they kind of took too long to get together, and they had this really stupid conflict which was miscommunication, which I hate. Although the author, because there's so much talk about romance books within this book, it is sort of addressed that miscommunication is kind of bound to happen within relationships, and it's definitely true. I just feel like I was thinking about this as I was reading it. I was like, I just don't know why romance books need to have the third act conflict, you know? I don't know. Hello? What? What's up? You just want attention? Okay, come on in then. I just feel like, you know, not every relationship has a big, like, make or break conflict in it. I just find it weird that romance books always do have this conflict, which is like, they're kind of broken up for a little bit and then they get back together. I don't know. It's just weird to me that always happens, and it's like my least favorite part of a romance book. So I feel like I'm always like loving it, and then I get to the end and I'm just like, oh no, not this again, even though I know it's coming. So I feel like this book was kind of the same. Like I was having such a fun time, and then I just knew conflict was coming and I was like, no. And I think also the fact that it took me a couple days to finish it because of being busy in my personal life, I feel like that meant that I didn't enjoy at the end quite as much as I could have, because I think if I was still like in the moment, I would have enjoyed it more. But that's not to say I didn't like it. I really, like, I honestly would say I loved this book. This book was so much fun. I had such a great time with it. I really liked the fact that it was kind of like self-aware of romance tropes and all of that. Sometimes it got a bit too much. It was like on the edge of being cheesy and too much, you know? I don't know. I still really enjoyed my time reading this. Like, it was so much fun. Very steamy and sexy. Loved that. Overall, I would definitely recommend this one if it sounds like something you would be into. I've come to realize I do really love a close proximity romance. They are my jam. I really liked this one and I highly recommend. Now I don't know what I'm going to move on to. So I have The Fastest Way to Fall and the Happy Ever After playlist. This is about a woman who works in like app development. She gets the opportunity to work with this personal trainer. As they start working together and training together, they start to fall for each other. This one sounds really fun. I might read this one just because I've been in the training zone recently. I mean, not really, but oh yeah, really? Right now? I feel like ever since the start of the new year, like we started off with train strikes, so I wasn't able to work out because basically it doubled my commute time to get the bus to work instead of the train. And so I would have had to get up like a whole at least 45 minutes earlier, and I already get up at 6 to go to the gym, so I was gonna have to get up at like 5:15 to go to the gym and then work like, you know, 9-hour shift. I was like, I don't think so. So I just didn't go to the gym that week. And then unfortunately the next week I got ill, and I was ill for about 2 weeks. And so yeah, I just basically haven't really fully got back into the zone of working out. And this week I haven't been that many times actually. I've only been twice so far, but I'm planning to go today and tomorrow. So yeah, I'm really trying to get back into the fitness groove. And I feel like this book, like her sister is a fitness influencer, and this book involves personal training. So like maybe this will help me get more motivated to go 5 days a week. Oh my god, but this one involves a dog. This woman finds a dog. Oh my god, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure which one to start. Maybe I should read this one because this one and this one have very similar covers. So maybe I should switch it up and read this one, which is very different. Well, I mean, it's not really that different, but just the color is different. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna go to the gym anyway, and I will have a think, and I'll start one of these later. I also have date night tonight. Tonight is gonna be our Valentine celebration, even though I'm not really a Valentine's fan particularly. But basically on Tuesday, we just didn't end up booking anything, and then with it being like my brother's last few days, we wanted to be around and stuff, and we've had like lots of like my extended family over to say goodbye anyway. And yeah, so basically today was like best day to go, so we're going out for dinner tonight, which is going to be very nice. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go to the gym before it gets too late and it gets busier, so I will talk to you later on.
You really caught my eye when I hit the town sneaking out last night. Really gives the vibe. Take it, then we kick it till the sun comes out. Make it feel alright. Come a little closer, baby, I won't bite. I do this for fun, but I wasn't really thinking you would call it love.
Oh my, I can't waste my time for another night. That's why I was thinking you put your number on my cell. Maybe I could call you my love.
Hello, it's later on, and I decided which book to start reading, and I started reading the Happy Ever After playlist, which I think I was leaning towards anyway. And then basically when I got back from the gym, I was just flicking through it, and I saw that it actually like has a playlist. And I was like, okay, this is the one for me. So it's so fun because there's literally a song for every chapter, and somebody's made a playlist of all the songs. So I'm literally going through, and before I read each chapter, I listen to the song and then I read the chapter, because I don't like to listen to songs with words while I'm reading. If I'm going to listen to music, it's got to be just instrumental, mostly, unless it's like a song I know really well and I can literally just like kind of tune it out. But typically if I'm going to listen to music while I read, it's going to be instrumental. And yeah, so I've been listening to the songs before I start the chapter, and I really like this book so far. So it basically follows our main character Sloane, who can't really seem to get her life back on track after losing her fiance 2 years ago, and she's still really struggling with it. And it's actually the anniversary of the death of her fiance, and she's on her way to the cemetery to go visit him when she almost hits this dog who she ends up taking home with her, and she can't find the owner anywhere. And it turns out that the owner is this guy called Jason, who's a musician currently working on a film in Australia, so he's going to be away for a little while longer. She ends up taking care of the dog for him while he's away. They start texting and phoning and getting to know each other, and I think there's gonna be a romance out of that. Obviously it is a romance book, but I'm just really enjoying this one. I feel like I tend to stay away from romance books which deal with heavier topics, because romance for me is just like a light fun thing. But actually I feel like this book is having a bigger impact on me than X's and O's because of the like emotional trauma. I feel like it's having more of an impact on me, and I'm rooting for the romance even more. Maybe not, we'll see how it goes. So far I'm really enjoying it. I mean, also it does hit really close to home for me. I honestly want to just keep on reading it, but tonight is date night, so we're gonna get some food from this really nice restaurant. I'm very excited about it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna read some more before we go. I'm also ready, but I'm just wearing pajama bottoms because, comfort. But yeah, that's my little update. I will talk to you again when I'm further through the book and let you know how I'm getting on with it. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. Hello, good afternoon. It's Sunday. I'm having a very lazy day today because I am not feeling very well. I'm having a chill, although I do still have to meal prep, which I just started doing, and then I realized that the soup I'm making takes chickpeas, which I need to do in Instant Pot, and it takes an hour. So I chopped up all my veggies, ready to cook my soup, and then I was like, oh, I can't cook my soup yet. Anyway, that's fine. I've also got to do my nails, so I think I'll do that while I wait for my chickpeas. Not important. I'm here to talk about the Happy Ever After playlist. I'm not finished it. I'm 200 pages in, so I'm a little over halfway through, and I am just having such a good time with this one. And I think part of the reason is because it's very different from a lot of the romance books I read. I feel like the type of books I read are normally the ones where it's like a lot of pining, and for most of the book the characters aren't together, whereas this one the characters get together quite early on, and it's a lot of like their relationship like growing and stuff like that, and we are obviously building up to a conflict that's going to, you know, tear them apart. But Sloane, the main character, has been through so much, so she's so wary of this new relationship, and I just think this one is really, I'm just really enjoying it. Like, you know, I think it's different from a lot of the books that I read in this genre. Don't get me wrong, I'm like not like having like, oh, it's so fluffy and cute. Like, it is fluffy and cute, but it has such like a heavy theme throughout that it's like, it makes it feel more realistic than maybe some of the other romance books that I've read. I don't think romance books need to be realistic at all. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like this one, I'm just enjoying the fact that it does feel a little bit more like genuine. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but this is no slander to any other romance book at all. This is just how I'm feeling about this one at the moment. I think I already said that I love the playlist aspect. I've been listening to each song before I read the chapter, and it's just, I'm just loving it. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm hoping to finish it today, although like I just said, I got to do my meal prep and my nails, so that's going to take a little bit of time. After all that, I'm going to get back into bed and read and try and finish this one today, but also like I don't want to rush it. But I feel like the ending could break me potentially, or maybe not the ending, but somewhere along the story I think I'm gonna get broken, and I don't want that to happen while I'm at work. I don't want people to see me crying at work. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go get on with my stuff that I gotta do, and I'll just talk to you again once I've finished this book and let you know my final thoughts on it. Hello there, good afternoon. It's Wednesday. I don't work on Wednesdays, so I've been home today. So yeah, I just went to the gym, came home, had lunch, had a shower, got back into my pajamas, and here we are. It's like a really horrible day outside, like very gray and cold and rainy. So it's very nice to be inside today. But I did finish the Happy Ever After playlist, and I'm here to talk about it. So I ended up giving this book a 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book. However, I feel like the last third of it was the weakest. The first 2/3 I was like, this is gonna be a new favorite, and then we got to that last part and I was just like, you know, no. For me, it just felt like it was a little bit too long. And also something that I don't think I really mentioned was that the love interest Jason is like an up and coming rock star pretty much, and his fame is like really starting to pick up around like the midway part of this book. The last third of the book is basically talking a lot about his fame and being on tour and all of that. It was just quite bleak, so it was kind of like, I feel like we already went through so much turmoil and I just wanted them to be happy, and then they weren't, and so it was just a bit like, oh no. Again, I feel like this goes back to my whole dislike of third act conflict, but yeah, I still really enjoyed this one. I like the fact that the third act conflict was different from miscommunication. I did really enjoy this. I just think that it was a little bit long perhaps, but I'll definitely be picking up more books by Amy Jimenez. I know that actually this is the second book in a series, which was the same with Exes O's. I accidentally picked up the second book. I'll definitely be going back and reading The Friend Zone, which is the first book. But yeah, I did really enjoy this, and as I said before, the playlist aspect was chef's kiss. Somebody actually put together the playlist, so I'll link it down below in case you also want to read this and listen to the songs. Now it's time to start the last book of this vlog, The Fastest Way to Fall. I actually have started this, but I'm only like 12 pages in, so I don't really have many thoughts so far. Apart from the fact that I misspoke earlier, I said that this book was about like an app developer, but it's actually not. It's about a woman who works for sort of like a blog company, but not a blog. What's the word? Like a magazine, but it's online, you know? I don't know. She works for this publication, and she's been working there for about 4 years. Basically, a spot has opened up for like a senior writer position, and she really wants to get that spot because none of her work has never been published. She's always sort of been like a researcher and stuff like that, but she hasn't had her own article. So she pitches this idea to her boss to join a new fitness app where basically they match you with a personal trainer. You train with them. She basically wants to do this piece about working with that and kind of a review of it. She ends up getting matched with the CEO of the app, who's also a personal trainer, and they start to fall in love. And it sounds like it's gonna be a really cute, fun time. It's also body positive. Like the main character is plus size, and she's not trying to lose weight or anything like that. She's just trying to get stronger. Enjoying it so far from what I've read. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm probably gonna read a little bit more today. I will check in with you once I have some more thoughts on this, and then I'll check in again once I finish the book. So yeah, I will see you later. Hello there. It is actually the following Wednesday. It's been a whole week since I last spoke to you. Oops. But I worked on Saturday last week, so that meant that I only had like Wednesday and Sunday off, and I just didn't get around to talking to you. Because also I didn't really have anything to update you on. I was making really slow progress with The Fastest Way to Fall, and I realized it's because I just don't really like it that much. So unfortunately, we're ending on a little bit of a disappointing note because I've decided to DNF this book, which if you don't know stands for did not finish. So yeah, I'm not going to finish this book. I stopped reading it about 200 pages in. I think if I'm being precise, it was page 194. But yeah, around the 200 page mark, I just decided it's a no for me. And I think I read a few reviews about this as well because I was like, I really thought about it. I was like, I don't want to DNF this book because it's part of a reading vlog. That was part of the reason. And also because I really wanted to love it, but I just didn't. And so I decided to read some reviews to see what other people were saying. And the sort of things that they were saying like kind of clicked for me. Oh, that's kind of why I'm not enjoying this one anymore. Because in the beginning I really was. Some of the issues that I saw other people raise, which I'll try and find their reviews and link them down below. What one person noticed was that the author was trying to cover like a whole bunch of different tropes. Like it wasn't really working. So like we had in the beginning, we had these like online conversations with sort of like their actual identity is unknown. So like that sort of trope, I don't know what you call that. And as the book is going on, we've kind of got like a friends to lovers sort of situation going on, and mistaken identity, and like a bunch of different tropes. It's just too much, and it's like just choose one. And I feel like especially with going from the chatting to meeting in real life, I feel like in the conversations that they were having, they had a lot more chemistry than when they're actually have met and in person. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the chemistry is gone. And then something that I read in another review was that somebody thought that the midway point when the romance is really supposed to be heating up, it's kind of done the opposite and started to cool down. And I feel like that is exactly right. And this kind of goes back to like turning to friends to lovers, is that they were kind of like on that trajectory of like they're gonna get into a romance, but now that they've met in person, it's kind of plateaued and they're just friends. I mean, obviously they kind of both have feelings for each other, but there's like no sign that either of them are gonna act on it anytime soon. So I just thought to myself, like, I'm not really enjoying this. It's not that it's a bad book or anything like that. I just feel like I'm not engaged with it anymore because we've kind of taken a turn. We're definitely heading towards romance, but it's just taking a long time to get there, and I just don't have the patience for it right now. But I've heard that actually a lot of people prefer her first book, which is How to Fail at Flirting. I heard of that book a long time before I heard about this one, and so yeah, that one seems like it's going to be a lot better. So I actually think I'm going to pick up that one instead at some point in the future. But yeah, I'm going to DNF this one, and I'm not going to come back to it because sometimes I DNF a book because it's just not the right time. But for me, I think that maybe it's not the right time and it's also just not the right book. Like, I feel like I've been reading it for a really long time, but it's only been a week. But I've just completely lost interest at this point. And after reading those reviews, which they weren't negative, like they were 3-star reviews. So like, people thought it was a good book, but it just wasn't amazing. And seeing as I'm already kind of feeling that way, to me, there just isn't any point in continuing on with it. So yeah, I'm really sad to be DNFing this one because I really wanted to love it, especially like with the subject matter. Like I really think like that is great. The fact that we have a plus size main character who wants to work out but not to lose weight, and she's happy as she is, but she just wants to get stronger, and I think that that's such a good message to put out there. And then a lot of the conversations that were brought up, I feel like a lot of people can relate to, like even if you're plus size or not, like sort of like the fear of working out in the gym, especially because you don't want to be judged by other people, and like just like having other people's judgment in your mind when you're doing something. I definitely relate to that, and I think a lot of people could. But yeah, it just unfortunately fell flat for me. So yeah, I'm not gonna continue reading this one. It's such a shame. Like I said, I didn't want to DNF this because of this vlog. I wanted to finish it, but I did give it a really good try. Like I read about half of the book, so yeah. Anyway, luckily I really enjoyed the first 2 books that I read in this vlog. But anyway, so those were the 3 books that I read for this romance reading vlog. What I've gained from this vlog is that I do really like romance, but I don't like the third act conflict, and I don't think I ever will, unless there's a book which does it fantastically. If you have any recommendations, let me know. Overall, I learned that I do like romance, but I also think that reading 3 romance books in a row is like not it, because I feel like I want one romance here and there to break things up. But yeah, romance is fun, and I think a lot of people are judgmental towards romance books. Like the more like serious readers say that romance isn't really like you're not really reading a book, but like of course you are. And I'll definitely be reading romance in the future. And I'm glad that I found a couple authors that I know that I like their books, so hopefully their other books don't let me down. I'm trying to find a message from this vlog, but really I just wanted to read some smut, and here we are. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below. And if you read any fun romance books in February, let me know which ones they were down below so I can check them out. Anyway, that's all I have for this video, so I'll see you very soon with another one. Bye!
You in the backyard of your old farm in the summer. Stayed there for 3 weeks where we learned to love each other. Wrote you letters, sent a message to the that day. Skip to the present.